and running the 2023 European Championships for large-scale four-wheel drive buggy is away. And Roman Walter leading the charge with Ken Valkiers starting from pit lane. It's already left an instant gap behind him, so I'm sure he wasn't complaining too much about that. Look at this battle for second. It's already hotting up. We have multiple different cars, multiple different countries. We're looking for the battle for second, 3 and 5. And also the 4 and the 6. That's Boucher, Van der Elst, Krabom, and Rodewald. 4-car battle at the moment. Then a bit of a gap for the next cars, 7, 8, and I think that's a 6. Hartman, Fernie, and Puziat. Sorry, that's a 0. And then Valkiers, Callan Gunn running last at the moment. Callan Gunn, we saw him come off the driver's stand. And I thought he may have been the one to call the technical timeout, but it looks like top 3, 4, 5 stretching out now. Let's move to our leader, car number 1 of Roman Walter, leading the way. Last lap, 34.5-second lap time. A bit faster from Van der Elst. Huge gap now. This gap looking like 3.7 seconds already on a track that is 35 seconds around. It looks big because it is, but a single mistake, land on a pipe, catch a divot or a hole somewhere. It looks like Valkiers, is that, no, it's number 7 of Hartman in a tussle, and now running last behind Callan Gunn. So Roman Walter being chased down by Mayo Boucher. Oh, and who's that that's just gone over? That was our 3rd place driver of Dan Krabom. Now he's going to be running 8th or 9th if he's still running at all, and he is. He's running one of those Ultron cars. Roman Volker running an APF in the lead. APF, a French brand that I don't really know a whole lot about. I'm told it's a relatively new brand. Ultrons, MCDs, and Elcons making up the rest of the main final grouping. So no real battles out on track. Roman driving well. Let's drop back 1 car to the blue and white number 3, and that is going to be Mayo Boucher. Starting pretty solid. Nice triple line over triple. Looks like we might have a battle for 4th hotting up. So if we drop back 2 cars to the, I think that's going to be the, oh, with a massive hit on the pipe from the number 8. That allows Ken Valkiers past in that red and white car. That was Ferry Fernie running a wing, so it's looked quite unfamiliar to us. If you didn't see his run in the semi-final A, give that a watch, because even without a wing, he was pulling away from people. Ken Valkiers moving up into 4th, though, thanks to that mistake from Ferry. Getting up on 2 wheels. Around the red and white. Yep. So Ken here on camera, qualified second, called a technical timeout, started from pit lane and has already worked himself up into 4th position. He's rapidly catching the number 6, and that is Sven Rodewald. Coming around the bowl corner and the flat hairpin. I think we have a broken car. Who's that? That's the number 8 of Ferry Fernie. Finally, something has taken him properly off the track. So his cars are repairable in the pits. Great thing about these large-scale cars, it's one of the few RC vehicles that actually require hammers and full-size bench vices. Meanwhile, Valkyrs, who we were following, is all over the back of that number 6 of Rodewald. Look at him coming down the straight now. Nose to tail, Rodewald running an MCD, Valkyrs running an Ultron. Got that big black thing sticking out the side of it. I'm not sure what that is. I'd be very surprised if it's an air cleaner. Just sticking out like that, the way it does into the dust. But very unique looking machine. This is our only battle on track. It's a battle for 3rd. Ken trying to make his way up at least into 2nd. Meanwhile, we've got Romain Voltaire in his APF, driving for France, leading the way. And a couple seconds behind him, we have Maël Boucher, also from France, but running an MCD. These guys getting massive air off of the tabletop at the back section of the track. Valkyrs all over the back. And so I wonder if that is pushing Rodewald. Obviously, it's pushing Rodewald, but he's not running defensive lines, really. He's just driving faster, and they're both catching up to Maël Boucher. So let's see what happens here with the battle, when the battle for 3rd becomes the battle for 2nd, and Valkyrs nearly taking it. Almost landing on top of Rodewald's car there. Car's very fast. I don't know if it's anything. Oh, and he flips it. Okay. Well, let's stick with the red and white car because we know he is fast. He's going to be definitely catching up to Rodewald pretty soon. Again, these cars not having any fuel stops at all. It's not nitro. They are allowed tire changes, I believe. But there's no point doing that. Because it'll just cost way too much time. So Valkyrs rocketing down the main straight. So that's taking the pressure off of Rodewald for the moment and also taking the pressure. Oh, and Valkyrs makes another mistake. Meanwhile, if we move up a couple of cars, we've got a battle for 2nd now between what has happened to, he's lost a shock. The number 3 car's lost a shock. Maël Boucher. Let's see if we can focus on him. He's down to 4th now as Valkyrs makes another mistake. He's going into the pits. Let's follow him into the pits. Keeping an eye on Valter. He's still in the lead, don't worry. And we've got a little bit of blockage there. So look at that. You can see the right front of the car has lost its shock, is completely on the ground on that side. And we have a bit of a blockage there. So we'll let them carry on. We'll move back to our leader, the car number 1, as he's coming. Where is he now? He is flying around the L, just about to come over the first of the doubles. He's just passed and lapped Callan Gunn. Callan Gunn running 8th at the moment. I'm sure Callan was under no illusions that he'd be able to put in a serious high-end challenge for the overall championship. I'm sure he's very happy, just like I would be, to be in the big show. After coming all the way from Australia and having the year that he's had, to be in the main final at the European Championships, which is basically, for him, and the reason why he's here, because there's no World Championships. So it's basically the World Championships. But we are with Roman Walter running the lone APF car in this race. APF, a brand I'm sure not very many are familiar with. But, and good news for Mayo Boucher fans, he's back out and racing. As we are still with Roman Walter. So let's see, let's go ahead and move to our number 2 car and give everybody a bit of love, because Walter at the moment, let's be honest, is way ahead. So Valkyrs, has now moved ahead into the 2nd position, the red and white car, coming up the big jump into the Elcon L. He's passed the number 6 car of Rodewald. While we were trying to find out what was happening with Boucher's car. Oh, and Callan goes over. Hopefully it's not broken. It's right behind you, Marshall. He's unable to. He's facing the wrong direction. He's facing the direction he should be. So anyway, car number 2 of Valkyrs has moved ahead, but only just from Rodewald. So 2nd place driver, followed very closely indeed by number 6 car, 3rd place driver, Sven Rodewald. So we're going to keep this pretty simple and easy. Let's move to Sven Rodewald, the car number 6, if we're not already. Follow him for a lap or 2, because we have 17 minutes left of this, and the cars are pretty spaced out. We haven't had everyone. I mean, a smart race is a smart race, but let's have some drama. Let's have some action. We did have some, just a bit in the 2-wheel drive main final, short course main final. Ran away with it. Matthew Stokes taking the win for the UK. Wesley Van Helmen making the 2-wheel drive final. A study in clinical driving, shall we say. He owned that one from start to finish, just like Matthew Stokes did. And it looks like at the moment, as we're almost halfway through this one, both those drivers setting the stage for another clinical masterpiece of a drive by Roman Walter. So let's move to our 4th place driver of car number 5 here of Tim van der Elst, the white and green car, just come over the big jump and into the Elcon L. It's Tim van der Elst. I think it's Van der Elst. It's spelled Van der Elst, but I think there's a space between the Van and the Der. Tim van der Elst from Belgium. Not running the Belgium scheme, but we did see a couple of cars running Belgian colors. But they were from, I think one of them was from Lithuania, so it was a bit confusing. This is Tim van der Elst running his Ultron. Valentin Puziat doing really well, running 5th at the moment in the car 10. Let's see, there we are. Oh, the very nice multicolored car. So, are we on Puziat from France? Piziat running an MCD. Next car in line is Peter Hartmann from the Czech Republic, and I can identify his car, at least, I believe. There we go, the number 7. Can identify his at least just by the color scheme. He's running an Elcon, one of 2 or 3 drivers running Elcon in this one. 2, the other one is Callan Gunn. And we'll get to him very soon indeed. Peter coming over the triple now. He's doing pretty well for a 2-wheel drive. Whoa, bicycle. Spoke very slightly too soon, but no, he's completely fine. So the next car is the next Elcon, is the number 9, just going over the jump leading to the bright orange car. That's Callan Gunn, our favorite Australian-Swedish racer. Callan Gunn making the trip all the way from Australia. And the reason why he's able to race in this one, again, is because there is no world championship for it. So basically, he puts himself, or he contacts EFRA representatives and says, hey, Connie, you are the section chairman of the large-scale off-road section for EFRA. I'd like to be on the waiting list, please, for the large-scale off-road for European Championships. And I'm happy to fly all the way from Australia, even though I've had a hell of a year. I'd really, really like to have a spot to race. And so here we are. We've got both of the Elcon cars together. So we have Callan Gunn giving Peter Hartmann plenty of space to get past. They're basically teammates. They run the same car, so that makes them teammates. So very good job for Callan, and a pleasure to finally chat with him myself. As we see, well, off camera, Valkyrie is making another mistake, but still holding on to the second spot. And the blue car that needed a shock replacement, number 3, where is he at? There we go, just come underneath us now. He's actually just been lapped by our leader, Romain Walter. This is Maël Boucher from France, running an MCD car. Not as many MCDs running in this one as I would have thought. The Ultron's quite popular at the sharp end of the grid, I must say. There's 4 of them in this. 2, 3, 4. Yes. 3 MCDs and 2 Elcons, and the APF that is currently leading. That's Maël Boucher. Ferry Fernie also needed some help. Oh, wait, no, it was him that broke the shock, wasn't it? He's had all kinds of issues. Ferry Fernie in the car 8. He's just come underneath us, I believe. Yes, coming out of the L. And you can see running that very distinctive right end, or right side pod thing that sticks out of the body. Identifies it as an Ultron. And that is all of our drivers out there at the moment. Dan Krabbaum in the car 4 from the Netherlands. Unfortunately, not sure what happened, but Dan having to stop. He was running an Ultron. You see a car in the pit lane, but Dan bowing out of the main final. But pretty good, actually, for as much abuse as these cars take, for 9 cars to still be running. I think Callan has some engine issues because he seems to be running off throttle very slightly. Hang on. Why is car 6 What has happened to Walter? What has happened to Walter? Where is he? He's over here. He must have just had a mistake. So let's follow him because Sven Rodewald is actually listed in the lead, and we've got Valkyrs all over the back of Walter. So here's our battle for the lead. These three cars, somewhere in our tour of the 9 drivers still out on track. Walter makes a massive mistake, big roll, and allows the Ultron of Valkyrs to go past. We have seen Valkyrs make a lot of mistakes in this one. Well, a lot meaning like 2 or 3. But that's enough to let drivers get past, just like what we saw happen to Walter there. So this battle for second somehow has developed. Don't know what has happened. The APF of Walter passed by the Ultron of Valkyrs. And who is that? That's Rodewald running an MCD. Currently in the lead, coming out of the Elcon L. 3 cars represented in the top 3 positions on track. So with 8 minutes remaining, if we've got these guys nose to tail for the next 8 minutes, we have got a real race on our hands. So all focus on these 3 here. We've got Rodewald, Valkyrs, and Walter, Roman Walter. So Rodewald running the number 6, the multicolored with the bright green. It's leading, obviously. Ken Valkyrs running in the red and white Ultron. And in the APF, the green and white is Roman Walter. The lead car presently is an MCD. So 3 countries, 3 makes of cars, obviously 3 different drivers. So we will see what happens here. We've got 7 minutes remaining. Coming over the triple. Nice clearance. Oh, and Walter makes a big mistake, gets caught. So he's now about 10 seconds down. So it's down to these 2 until Roman Walter catches up. Different lines entirely taken by these guys. Everyone trying to find the smoothest place to accelerate and brake and turn. Trying to find the sweetest racing line after a week of heavy driving on this track. Track has evolved and changed in so many ways. It's no longer the muddy bog that it was on Tuesday. Oh, and Walter's going for the lead. He's got the inside line. Oh, no. He may go for it here. Oh, and he goes over. He catches the back wheel of Rodewald. So now he's a couple seconds back. These guys getting amazing drive off of these jumps. And we see Walter off camera goes over again and loses another few seconds. Doesn't need to be rescued by the marshal though, so he's still rolling. Now he's under pressure though. There's 5.25 minutes remaining in this race. He's definitely under pressure. For nearly 25 minutes, he had it all his own way. And now it's down to these 2, Rodewald and Walters. Slinging their cars back and forth through the S's. Trying different lines. Oh, and cut off, but driving on the ground. Oh, and Valkyrs goes over. Two marshals trying to get to him, and he gets passed by Valter. Oh, he's broken. Valkyrs is broken. His mechanic immediately spotted it. Both mechanics out there. You only need one. Watch where you're running. Look at the back end of that car. The left rear completely off. And I think that has put an end to his challenge. Rodewald. Wow. Sven Rodewald. Not a name I would have put forward to potentially take this one. 4 minutes left. Where is he at? Rodewald here, the number 6, just going over the big jump. And a few seconds later, followed by the APF of Roman Valter. I don't think any of these guys have won a European Championship in the past. So eagerness leading potentially to overdriving. It's hard to say. I don't know what is in the minds of these guys. I can only imagine how I would feel. Extremely, extremely nervous is certainly a couple of words I would use. So we've got 3 minutes left. We've got Rodewald out in the lead. We have Roman Valter actually very slowly catching him up. But still 3.5 seconds behind. So now it's down to Rodewald. He's got lap traffic. He's coming up, I think it's the number 9 of no, it's not Callan Gunn. But he's got 3 cars of lap traffic coming up. He's going to have to make his way past these guys. Sven Rodewald from Germany on his 49th lap in this 30-minute race. With Roman Valter waiting, just waiting and hoping to pick up the pieces. What's the gap now? It's a lot closer now. It's less than 3 seconds. About 2.5 seconds. So he's made up about a full second in the last couple of laps. 1.5 minutes remaining. I don't think there's enough time unless... No, first car has let him pass. It's the car 0. Good driving of Valentin Pusiat. Roman Valter driving all out, but still needs to keep it rubber side down. Perfect landing off of that triple now, aimed directly at the corner. So now, Rodewald coming up on Callan Gunn, giving him plenty of space, very good. And then, look at the gap now, they're very, very close. There is a car between them, that's Callan Gunn, the orange car, is Callan Gunn. But, Rodewald, 41 seconds left now. Callan Gunn now gonna go wide and give Roman plenty of space. The gap now is about, it's about 2.1 seconds, I think. It's much, much closer. Oh, and Roman making a little bit of a mistake, riding the pipe just a tiny bit. But he gets a huge drive off of this, off the tabletop. Look at these. Let's try and keep them both in shot. And lap traffic moving way aside. No, okay, you need to move aside again. There we go, that's it. That's a European Championship win. I was too busy watching the racing. Sven Rodervald taking the European Championship here in the Czech Republic in large-scale off-road four-wheel drive buggy. Congratulations, huge congratulations to Sven Rodervald from Germany, driving his MCD, taking the win.